Welcome to Personality Tuning. This lesson is part of Module 05, Chat Model Fine-Tuning. Let's get started. Let's now look at Lesson 5.3, Fine-Tuning for Personality. Here we can see the personality spectrum. Let's now look at Overview. Here we can see the tone consistency. The magic of chat fine-tuning is creating models with distinct personalities. Learn to train models that consistently exhibit specific tones, styles, and characteristics, from professional tech support to enthusiastic creative coaches. Duration, 90 minutes. Difficulty, intermediate. Let's now look at learning objectives. Here we can see the persona examples. By the end of this lesson, you will define clear personality traits for your assistant, create personality consistent training data, fine-tune a model with specific tone and style, test personality alignment, handle personality drift, balance personality with helpfulness. Let's now look at what is personality in AI. Here we can see the personality eval. Let's now look at personality, SOX tone, plus style plus behavior. Here we can see the personality trait mapping. Tone, how the model sounds, formal versus casual, enthusiastic versus reserved, friendly versus professional style, how the model structures responses, concise versus detailed, direct versus explanatory, technical versus simplified behavior, how the model acts, proactive versus reactive, cautious versus confident, questioning versus directive. Let's now look at example, personality profiles. Here we can see the common personality issues. Let's now look at Profile 1, Professional Tech Support. Here we can see the Personality Eval Framework. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with tone, professional, patient, reassuring. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with, I understand this is frustrating. Let's work through this site. Let's now look at Profile 2, Enthusiastic Creative Coach. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with tone, enthusiastic, encouraging, warm. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with, oh, I love where you're going with this. A mystery set in a... Let's now look at Profile 3, Concise Code Reviewer. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with tone, direct, constructive, objective. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with issues. With open file as F, show auto closes data, F read. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with why. Context managers prevent resource leaks. Let's now look at building a personality-tuned model. Let's now look at Step 1, define personality traits. Exercise, fill out this personality profile. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with assistant personality profile. Let's now look at Step 2, write system prompt. Translate personality into system prompt. Example 1, enthusiastic creative coach. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with, you are an enthusiastic and encouraging creative writing coach. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with, you are a professional and patient technical support specialist. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with, you are a senior software engineer conducting code reviews. Let's now look at Step 3, create personality consistent data. All training examples must match the personality. Let's now look at example, dataset, enthusiastic creative coach. Example 1, example 2. Add 200 plus more examples, all matching this enthusiastic tone. Key, every example maintains exclamation marks for enthusiasm, questions to engage, positive reinforcement. That's amazing. Conversational style, under 150 words. Let's now look at Step 4, training configuration, same as Module 4. Load model, add, LoRa, load, dataset. Apply, chat template. Training args, same as Module 4, create trainer. Let's now look at testing personality alignment. Let's now look at personality test suite. Load fine-tuned model test cases. Let's now look at personality evaluation rubric. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with personality evaluation checklist. Score each 1 to 5, 1 to rapport, 5 are excellent. Target, average, or 4-0. Let's now look at common personality issues. Let's now look at issue 1, personality drift, becoming generic. Symptom, model starts with personality but becomes generic. Example. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with turn 1. Oh wow, that's a great story idea. Let's brainstorm. Solutions. Add more multi-turn examples where personality persists. Reinforce system prompt in longer conversations. Increase training epochs, model needs more exposure. Let's now look at issue 2, over-exaggerated personality. Symptom, personality is too strong, annoying. Example, here's the bash code for this section, starting with, OMG, that's amazing. I'm so excited. This is the best. Too much? Solutions, tone down training examples, add more moderate examples, remove excessive punctuation, emojis from data. Let's now look at issue 3, personality versus accuracy trade-off. Symptom, model prioritizes personality over correctness. Example, here's the bash code for this section, starting with user. What's the capital of France? Didn't answer the question. Solutions, ensure training data always answers accurately. First, personality. Second, add examples showing helpful plus personality, not personality only. Use validation set to catch accuracy drops. Let's now look at issue 4, inconsistent personality. Symptom, personality changes between responses. Example, here's the bash code for this section, starting with response 1. Hey, this is super cool. Let's dive in. Switched from casual to formal. Solutions, review training data for inconsistencies. Ensure one system prompt used throughout. Add more examples. Need more data probably. Let's now look at balancing personality and helpfulness. Let's now look at the golden rule. Personality enhances helpfulness, not replaces it. Let's now look at good balance. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with user. How do I sort a list in Python? My list, mod 3, 1, 2, sorted, list, Myers, sorted my list, Myers 1, 2, 3. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with the sorted. Function returns a new sorted list while s, mylist.sort, changes my list directly. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with which approach fits your use case. Why good? Enthusiastic tone, plus accurate answer, plus code examples, plus follow-up question. Let's now look at too much personality. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with user. How do I sort a list in Python? Why bad? Too excited, doesn't answer clearly, asks too many questions before helping. Let's now look at too little personality. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with user. How do I sort a list in Python? Why bad? Accurate but missing the enthusiastic, detailed style we trained for. Let's now look at complete personality training notebook. Save as notebooks 04 chat models 02 personality training die pi nb. G Shir Wangzel 1 load model and dataset and load model add LoRa or is of work. Let's now look at lesson checklist. Here's the bash code for this section, starting with personality fine-tuning checklist. Let's now look at key takeaways. 1. Consistency is key. All examples must match personality. 2. Balance personality plus helpfulness. Personality enhances, not replaces. 3. Test thoroughly. Use diverse prompts to reveal issues. 4. Iterate. First training rarely perfect. Expect adjustments. 5. System prompt matters. Reinforces personality. 6. Multi-turn is harder. Personality must persist across turns. Let's now look at what's next. Personality mastered. Now let's handle multi-turn conversations. Continue to Lesson 5.4. Multi-turn conversation training. Let's now look at additional resources. Constitutional AI, personality through principles. Character AI techniques, persona-based models. Your model has personality. Let's make it conversational. That wraps up personality tuning. Well done on completing this lesson. See you in the next one.